The story of human conflict did not begin with empires, oil, borders, or modern politics. It began with two brothers. The Qur'an reminds us that the first killing in human history was not carried out by a foreign enemy, but by one son of Adam against another. Then his soul prompted him to kill his brother, so he killed him and became among the losers. Qur'an 5:30. This verse establishes a painful and timeless reality. Betrayal, jealousy, greed, and hatred are internal diseases before they become external wars. From that first act of violence, history followed a repeated pattern. Conflict born inside a community, then exploited by forces from outside. Islam does not teach that Muslims are always innocent victims, and others are always the sole villains. The Qur'an speaks with clarity and accountability. Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Qur'an 13:11. This is not divine injustice. It is cause and consequence. Iraq did not collapse because its people were miserable or living under constant terror, as later media narratives claimed. Before invasion, Iraq had free education, free healthcare, government food rations, housing support, and a functioning national system. Literacy rates were among the highest in the region. Women were educated. Society was stable despite sanctions. The claim that Saddam Hussein ruled only through fear was constructed after the decision to destroy Iraq had already been made. Weapons of mass destruction were repeated as fact until repetition replaced truth. The real collapse began when Muslims betrayed Muslims, when generals, officials, and elites chose personal power, wealth, and foreign approval over unity and sovereignty. America did not conquer Iraq through military strength alone. It entered through open doors created by internal betrayal. The consequences are visible today. Fractured sovereignty, collapsed education, healthcare, accessible only to the wealthy, and vast oil wealth flowing outward, while ordinary people struggle to survive. And do not incline toward the wrongdoers, lest the fire touch you. Qur'an 11:1-13. Libya did not fall because NATO was unstoppable. It fell because Muammar Gaddafi was abandoned and betrayed from within by tribes, commanders, and political figures who prioritized personal gain over national survival. Foreign powers merely exploited the division. A country once wealthy in oil was reduced to chaos, militias, and even open slave markets. This was not an accident. It was a pattern. Palestine bleeds not only because of occupation, but because of Muslim disunity, normalization, silence, and calculated betrayal. Gaza is bombed, while some Muslim governments shake hands, sign contracts, and speak of peace without justice. The Qur'an warned against this moral compromise. They wish that you would compromise, so they would compromise. Qur'an 68:9. Iran attempts to govern using Qur'an and Hadith as a moral framework, yet sanctions, psychological warfare, economic pressure, and internal unrest persist. Once again, external forces depend on internal betrayal, on citizens and elites willing to exchange national resources for promises of freedom, comfort, or power. History shows clearly what follows when unity collapses. From a scientific and sociological perspective, wars are rarely moral crusades. They are resource-driven. Oil, gas, strategic geography, currency dominance. One of the hardest realities to accept is this: many attacks on Muslims succeed because Muslims enable them, directly or indirectly. The Prophet warned, "A time will come when nations will invite one another against you as people invite others to a feast." They asked, "Will we be few?" He replied, "No, you will be many, but you will be like foam on the sea." Musnad Ahmad. Foam is abundant, but weightless, loud, but without direction. Islam does not promise a worldly victory before the end. It warns of fitna, deception, and moral inversion. The Prophet said, "There will come years of deception. The liar will be believed. The truthful will be called a liar. The traitor will be trusted, and the trustworthy will be called a traitor." Ibn Majah. This is not Satan winning by force. It is humanity failing the test. When betrayal becomes normal, lies replace truth, and greed overpowers faith, Qiyamah draws near. When trust is lost, then wait for the hour. Bukhari.